stream.
Yeah, so I'll VOD it. Like, a couple of people can't be here.
Okay. There's no shot. It's gonna be way too large.
What?
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna put a link to the VOD.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Oh, we're watching Donkey.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
big
we're
Donkey.
watching
Big Donkey.
Donkey.
This is just a movie night tonight. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm always down for some Donkey, dude.
It's cool that he got to start it.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know he did that.
I got to play against him when he played League a couple times.
Oh, I'm sorry you had to deal with that toxicity.
Oh no, he was unfortunately cyberbullied, I think.
I miss him playing League, dude.
For real,
Miss
that's
that
the best content.
And it for Maphis too.
He did. He never lied though. He said he was done doing it, and he never posted.
And he
another
never
League
did it,
video.
yeah.
Yeah.
That and the old Spazzy videos, the old League Spazzy videos, those were good.
Not
Make
even
sure
close,
interrupt one of these
baby.
suckers.
Oh, nice ad block
Either
you got there.
Yo, he's being generous. He's
I'll focus star. Get that.
he has it whitelist for the site so they can get ad revenue.
True.
Who's doing a key right now in here?
That's
Who's that?
Alan. Oh, you're doing.
Why? Why do you care so
Doing-
much?
We're doing a raid thing right now. Yeah, true.
Kick.
Alright. Oh,
Kick.
kick. Start with the pack. So if it's, I know it's only running on 5 frames a second, so bad we can only switch it. Sorry, whenever. I don't know. Nice and slow and hopefully. All right, so the weak core pack we're gonna right. It's located in 10.0 channels pack setup. This we'll probably run this for the rest of the fights unless add on to. It's this guy right here. You can game. Now, there's two. Setting this up is a little bit special, and everyone's going to want to set it up a little. That's why we're sort of doing this. So you get a visual thing of what it looks like.
Did you post that somewhere?
I can post. It's in the. There's the channel under the 10.
Kurog.
It's in
Kurog,
Kurog, and it's under. It has its own channel above everything. Aeronog. It's called Liquid. Oh, you guys can't see.
Oh, I see.
We can't see that, dude.
Fuck. Let me.
Oof.
How much do you pay for the? Is this public?
It's from Wago, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's public now.
And I just delete every other weak ore in here that I have so far.
Can you guys see it now? You guys should be able to see it. At top of Aeronog.
Yeah, we can see it.
Download this. You need to delete every. So there's certain weak auras like you won't want to show the tank auras. Might doesn't nearly as a weak aura. Jelly as well. These are lots of options and how it works because you'll be able to figure out what's good for you and not good for you. That will or will add on isn't.
Holy shit.
So when you download this aura, you guys can take a second to do that. Did I link it? In Guild is. It's a pretty big pack though, so I'd recommend copy pasting it. Get lots of fights. Aeronog, Terras, Primal Council. You can fool around with these. Matter we've killed at least a couple things. The main thing you're gonna want, along with this, before we get into customizing and showing how to turn things around. You can't move. It'll fuck it up if you want to move the red icon to the other side. You have to have another weak ore to do that, and and that weak ore is also in this channel. It's called Liquid Raid Anchor.
You just click on the yellow arrow to the left to make it out of the group, like to separate the fights, basically.
You
Yep. I mean,
can,
Could you
but they
do-
don't recommend you do that because I think the
Okay.
way updating works and stuff. So the second weak
Oh.
aura, Raid Anchor. Raid
it's the
Anchors, that's
bottom.
what it's
Yep.
called. It pops up like this, and then you can move these ones. So, this one, right? Debuff timers, I don't like it. I'm gonna put it here in the whatever reason. Back to your icon. I think that sort of pulls off this.
Yeah, if you go to the display tab, they reference the frames.
Yeah.
For that weak aura.
Exactly. So you'll run 2 weak auras, one to move it around, one to turn it off, and so that's how you'll move it around. So you can start with that in terms of customizing. Now we're back to the back. Now we're on Kurog. We're on Kurog right now. What does it look like? It looks like this. Now, Kurog will have a bunch of abilities in here. Some are on, some are off. You'll have to look through and figure out what you want. Good idea is this Searing Carnage icon. Go under the load, it's never. Unloaded, just unclick. This Searing Carnage is, I believe, the debuff that drops poop puddles behind. Have it or not. Not everything is like this. Some are preloaded, like Absolute Zero, Ice Phase. Searing Carnage bar, I think is preloaded. You'll have to go through. I may have changed some of this. Double check. Dark Recital Countdown. You want to make sure all this stuff is. What you don't need as a DPS, right? Developing Earth. Good healer one to have. A lot of healers have their own orb one. May just use that. Fine. Option for.
Looks like it's.
So that's what you're going to go through. And then you can sort of decide, oh, like, I really don't need the Searing Carnage icon. I'm going to off later. Oh, I do really. I want to know. All these bars that these are. But you'll have timers for this. Dodge 1 out of 4. You'll see. For healers, next time, all this stuff is. And will be fights. The remainder fights, at least. Kurog, Dathia has its own. So that's pretty much it for the weak ore. There's not too much to it. You can move all around. If you do get the add-on, although it doesn't seem to be working, I updated it. It's supposed to highlight in red what's and then what is not highlighted. It was working yesterday, and then I think today. Why, I don't know. Make sure you.
So you need that other weak aura to move.
Yeah, so the below one called Raid Anchor allows you to move around on your. Yeah. Special bars down here. I don't know. I don't know how everyone's stuff looks like. Like I moved this one off the side of my screen. This one originated and it was like half off my screen over here. Play with it as you will. I trust you guys to be better players, but I think lots of people aren't using weak their necessarily full potential. That's not even necessarily fault. It's just get into a habit of using these when they're available. Everyone's got that. Now we're on to the good stuff. We're gonna go over this fight pretty slow. The fight is rinse and repeat. There's no random anything in this fight. It's perfectly scripted. I will touch on little tank things a couple. I'll touch on little DPS things as well. Healer things, I think Maphis will touch on. Or not personal chats, but chat. Press point. But we'll go here. I don't think I'll end up being in for this. Hunters are ass on this. I'll be 20 planning. Go. But the fight will pull exactly like. I don't know. I guess no. Super simple. Does it look okay for everyone?
It's just it's just slow FPS.
As long as it's somewhat understandable. 2 ads. There's 2 ads on this fight the entire type, so you're gonna take whatever your 2 target ad cleave is. That is exactly what you'll take. So I know like that lost strong. Boss damage is still equally important, but these ads have to die in around every time they're up. Every time you enter a new phase, a new ad spawns. You have to kill it. They end up going in 3 total spots. We touch lightning for 2 seconds, so that one doesn't. But making sure. So this is the soak that the DK does. But also this rotation's the same. It goes blue to green to in. Fire soaks that you're kiting is a there. What does this mean for melee, the dancer? Dark Recital. Melee have to play this like they do Council. How that goes. Uptime is really key on this boss. DPS check is tight, but this means you're going to have to stutter step these. So, melee start here. I don't know where, right? They actually
People
get their
recital go right. People who don't get the recital, like the range can't get it.
yeah.
jump
So
right here.
these melee leave the boss, or these could be healers. I'm actually not. Can technically leave the boss, but it ends up being downtime. What you should be able to do is sidestep across, but you have to make sure to not get frontaled by the tank. Kind of an in between here. Tank has to make sure hand in hand. So you can technically keep uptime on the bus if you stutter step. Slowly, like heroic, fast mechanic. I think these wreck.
Are ads hard swap, or are they?
There is
just...
certain points in the fight where the ad becomes a hard swap. The ad eventually berserks. I don't think this guy's tracking it on, but that does occasionally happen. As long as if the ad berserks, it just fucking knocks your tank. They can technically be kited, although not. It's just feeling out ad damage. So you always prio off boss start, and I'll figure out in terms of when calling a hard switch. It's generally timer. We don't have here.
Jeez, is the Berserk the energy on his health bar on the top right? 87%?
Yeah,
Or
probably.
Peter?
That's probably a really good. Yeah, that's probably right there.
Yes, that's it.
They'll beat this one because of hero. You see, they're killing it pretty much perfect time. That's what you're looking for. More fire piles, more kiting and circle. Part's relatively simple. Mark to boss. This is immunity soak. You have to make sure you're tight so immunity soak. And the tank getting the first. And that's pretty much it. This last set.
I was gonna say, if they're super stat like that is, you can have one person grab all of them.
That's right. Yep, you can have one person grab all. You should have one person to grab all of them all the time, but they'll always be 2 set. Like they did 2 sets at once there because timings work. You don't actually soak this last one here. Leave it. I don't believe it. So Sage 2 coming. This is the main tank portion. A lot of wipes occur, so I'm hoping we can beat it. The boss has to move into the lightning about 4 seconds before Stage 2. Can't really be late, and you can't be early. The reason why you can't be late, this guy's technically late, I guess. The reason why you can't be late is you'll spawn the random ad. You need to get the lightning ad on the mission. And if you're early, you'll spawn a mechanic. I think it fucks your rate. So
it looks like it's 1 energy per second, kind of like what it was back in previous raid.
So the thing that I'm having a hard time understanding here is that the lightning component of the fight is so dangerous that we do everything we can to just not have to deal with it.
That's right, yeah. It causes your rate to spread, and spreading in this fight is so it's not. So they move in at 98%. They're at 1.6 seconds. I think that's a tad late. I think it's around 4 seconds you want. But it looks like it can be forgiving. So yeah, 97% they move in.
Yeah, and they took extra fire damage if you see the boss as he's crossing that border. Like half the raid got chunked for half their health, and I think you can avoid that too.
There you go.
I think if you had to decide between early and late, late's better because early you get the ad, but like
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you don't want to get the.
Obviously, the ideal is neither, but like probably best to have one of it like Marge on the bus and me standing there like taunt it right at like 4.5 or something, so he starts moving right away.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, Jelly, is that the best way to consistently move the boss at a very specific distance at a specific time is to have us stand a specific distance apart and have one taunt, because the boss's movement will be very predictable at that point.
Yeah, that should be
Cheese
good.
mentioned this kills a lot of people, so like Cheese, I don't even think it's like the worst idea. Is like when we get to the boss, we just YOLO that, and then the tanks get used to the movement of the boss and the speed and the taunt swap at
Yeah, of
that
course.
point.
That's definitely a learning portion for tanks. That's not a gimme mechanic. Like some guilds spend 10 to 15 spawning the wrong ad. Can't happen. So yeah, if we wipe there, it's not the end of the world. Tanks have to learn. So.
And we don't want the lightning ad later in the fight because why?
It's just as it's deadly.
It's deadly, and then the fire one that appears.
It's also specifically the combos, right? It's not just later.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, it's what comes out at certain times. Like you just
lightning press frost is impossible.
You just can't spread with the other one.
Yeah.
So these fire puddles here are forever staying. You never have to pay attention to them again. And as mainly everything we on these two ads, -1 person gets the current ability here. I believe, if I'm not mistaken,
rated by healers.
First teleport is on a healer, right?
All teleports should be on healers.
Perfect. All teleports are on healers, so you always remain melee.
So he'll teleport on a healer, then he'll channel a random other person.
I think.
So, yeah.
Thought I posted.
Yeah, but yeah, he'll teleport to a healer and then channel on somebody different.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how that works. Do this. This mechanic, that's the one mechanic from the lightning guy that you have to worry about, minus something coming up. And the dance always happens this. So we all as a unit will just kite towards the middle of the room, first dance, and then kite back for this. When we kite to this here, it's going to be a soak mechanic that comes out. Here. You need one player to soak these. I made a nice little graph for us. Here.
Are those spots consistent?
I don't know that answer yet, to be honest. They look relatively consistent, so you can sort of ballpark it. They always spawn in around the circle like this. They're never on the inside or in the middle. But I don't know if they're that side. But if we do soaks with players like this, so 1 is Shadow, 3, 5 is Fatimir. You can obviously swap these up if they are moving and maybe can't do it. And then yes, trap, he's only. We can figure that out as we go. But these will be your 6 people have an idea and remember. I don't think you need a personal or anything, you just stand in it. It's the same thing as every other mechanic though. If you have 2 people in it, you're just taking double damage.
We should. I would say we probably should personal that because we have 2. If we have 2 holy priests, we'll have 2 symbols for just tons of personals.
Yeah, it depends what your personal is, right? So like mine with the holy priest.
Yeah.
Dog shit.
That's fucking
just heal myself. So, depending what your that holy priest. Yeah, you can definitely take that into account. But folks.
Is there some kind of mechanic that prevents you from soaking 2 in a row? Like, is there?
You will only get 1 of these, so it does not. Let's get 1. This adds. You'll see here at 25%. They're gonna get another title here. Title. You walk back to where we came from, back into the lightning platform. Die. Back again. Oh, we actually have to go back to the lightning again because he did. Again, all fine. Once this ad dies, it's the rest of the phase is pretty simple. Don't die to fire stuff. No real uptime is good. They kite back and forth. Die. And that's really what they call in the video. Try and keep uptime. We'll try and keep the tag moving again through melee players at least. That works. At that point. Okay. And don't cut. Adds enraged. This is what it looks like. It flaps. Have to kill. It's also being kited. So if you get to this 100 energy tanks, probably jelly jumping. We definitely should. Okay.
It depends on its movement speed. If I can get away from it with a sprint, then I can kite it too. I don't know how fast it is during the enrage.
It just claps. Anywho, that phase is done. It's not. None of this is too bad in the fight. It is really healer and personal usage. Mechanically wise, it's not bad. Now we're into Earth phase. We stay in Earth phase the entirety of P2. Just as every other phase, the longer you stay, the more damage it does. Simple. So there'll be a second ad. What this ad does differently now, or what it adds, is Mythic plus mechanic from the boss. So the bigger circle also goes to add. So the way, I forgot to touch on the tank part. The way we make sure these are offset for whatever reason, spell queuing, hog spell queuing. So when the tanks pick this boss up in P2, they don't do it here, although they could. We'll hold the boss for about 1 to 2 seconds, not a single second longer, else you're going to blast the rate damage because it's standing in the middle. Then bring it. They didn't do that. I don't know why. Maybe they're work, but you just hold them for like 1 or 2 seconds inside the circle, then move. And that will offset the casting of the ad and the boss. And you need to offset it because there's one bad overlap. See. In this phase, there's the heal absorb damage too. This heal absorb damage is the most important part of the fight for healing. It ramps more phase. It fucking blasts. Have to make, especially pretty much on number 4 and 5 are the last two, and that's when we'll zones and get that healing. Just cleave these ads. They're not prio at all. The small. It's irrelevant. They die when they die. Continue doing your target cleave. Definitely do that. But padding. This is the bad overlap coming up of Quakes. So they've separated the two. The boss moved a bit to the left. I think the ad a bit to the right. Tanks on the second ad Quake. Last one. Second over. I guess it just that. Boss will Quake first. Dodge first. Go back in, and the ad's quaking at the same time. We're gonna have a safe spot here in between the ad and in between the boss, and it will pop again, and you will have another. Positioning on boss and ad are very important here. Lapping. Overall, it's as long as we time it, these timers will overlap. Like probably get a rotate. Have a rotate. That. Then it's just killing the ad. So ad percent again, pretty much ideal. Notice that damage forward. This is more so for healers and your own. Actually, your own. Important. You're gonna start getting fucking blasted with, especially on the last part where you're. Anytime healer have to move. Ad dies time. And now the damage. Last kite mechanic happens. Oh yeah, here it is.
Jeez, can you go back to the Quake mechanic that happened like 15 seconds ago?
Yeah, I can go back. Let's show this real quick. The damage coming out. Last few ticks.
Jesus.
By your health stone. We're gonna go from a hunt like this is like 3 ticks about every second. And you are going to be getting like it will be consistent
reverse spots.
every pull. Personals, health stone, living here. Once you live.
And so I think to follow that with like health stones and health pots and stuff. You don't see it on this guy's unit frames because he doesn't track it, but I think it's 3 players in conjunction with this. I think
It's
that's the lineup.
5
We'll
or
get is it 5 or 6?
yeah, it's 5 or
And
6.
so that's the 4th and 5th set, like Cheese said. If you get that heal absorb on you, you need a health pot or health stone up for that, and you have to insta pop it. Healers aren't going to be able to necessarily save you out of that, so you'll need to at least reserve 1 for that point of the fight. And so if you're running into issues where you don't think you can live in a different portion of the fight without your health pot or health stone somewhere, just like let me know, and then we can try to fix that on the healing side, because you definitely need them up if you get the absorb.
I should have
Can
an
you
extra
get it more than
beacon.
once?
Yeah, you can get it more than.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 6 that go. I don't know why I'm really. Even if it's 5, you're bound.
But so you don't have to do it on the. I think it's the first 3 absorbs.
The first 3 you should be fine. And through the last one. The problem with that really last one is at the same time. So Maphis and you can't cast when you're moving.
But with all this in mind too, remember it's a prog boss, so like in the beginning anyway, if you're slamming both your health stone and health pot in P1 just so we can like learn P2, like that's not necessarily a bad thing to play like that, because we still have to prog through those early phases. That's this at some point you're just gonna have to have it up here though.
Do you hear Jelly?
Yeah, I thought in the because you're talking about positioning the ad so that like those overlaps aren't.
Yeah, so before they just moved the boss, I think a couple yards. I think the boss is actually moved, not the ad here.
I must be thinking of Frost Phase because I remember in like Liquid Skill, the ad seemed like it was a lot further out before. Like I know in Frost Phase at least.
Yeah, it's a similar.
Yeah, I mean you could technically move the ad.
There, it looks like it's barely out.
Yeah, it's barely out, and the reason why you can do this thing, they don't technically come at the same time. You'll see that there.
Okay, you just want like there to be a small spot on the boss where you can like still
Yeah,
hit it when.
exactly.
Yeah,
the whole
If
time.
you look how far apart those like the circles are, like underneath where they're standing, like where that safe spot is, that's how far apart they are.
Yeah, just like any distance creates a safe spot.
Yeah,
exactly. And the nice thing about this, the way this safe spot works, because it's on the boss, melee can keep up. Right? Down for the tick, which is seconds. Back on the.
Yeah, so just enough for a safe spot, not so far that you can't cleave.
Yeah.
Because I think the Frost one's not about safe spots, so they pull it further out. Because
It's
just really
not.
fucking
So
hard.
Yeah.
We'll get to this one. Yeah, we'll get to that one right now, and then we'll touch. So, P2 intermission. This is the Frost ad and the Earth ad. So main thing with the Frost ad is when he come in, and the Earthquakes have to get out. First 3 Earthquakes will go on random targets. It probably does go on the closest 3, but it's a little relevant if you get an Earth. Drop it in Narnia.
Now, the ad does the ad do a frontal cone with every attack, or is it at an interval? Because I know the extra ads that spawn in each quadrant have some kind of frontal.
Oh, I do not have that answer.
Well, I guess we'll figure that one out pretty quick.
Yeah, but it looks like they're both facing away, so not sure. So first soaks. So every raids do this differently, and the way we're gonna do it is exactly the way they're doing it. There's gonna be 2 immunes who don't stand in this. As the 2 people who don't stand in this are guaranteed to get the debuff next, and they will off. So I'm kind of hoping my mages had to choose. But ice, bubbles and ice blocks and cloaks all work for the next immune. So other than this, every will 50-50. That might be a tank. Is that a tank who got?
Yeah, ignore the tank is.
Yeah, it looks like he fucking solo soaks it.
I think that's a tank. I can't really see.
You can technically like 2 tank. You can 2 tank and rogues faint it, and you live. Not sure if they're.
You can see on the raid UI, ignore have the circle on them.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a tank or not.
Anywho, but you can split it 50-50 and perfectly live. So we'll probably have groups set up to split. Yeah, it looks like the walk took tank. Probably both tanks. But that's fine.
And out of curiosity, Jelly, are you planning on running the warrior pseudo cheat talent? I feel like he'd be pretty strong in this fight.
Figured out.
Okay, so this is the scariest part of P, and from a DPS perspective, possibly the scariest part of the fight, at least for. So the way, so Frost Mechanic is super. Does a circle, pulses AOE. You have to be in the. Where this gets sketchy is bombs come out. But we need to make these bombs will get baited on the 3 closest players, who I believe aren't tanks, to the Earth ad. This means our goal is to have it on 5 green cards. If green cards in on green card in the 2 rogues, if not, it'll be like Psy in the 2 rogues. And the reason for that is you guys will have movement and feint and stuff like that to be able to get out and back in. You'd stay in this circle for possible. Be a countdown on the screen. Second, you will drop and you will charge back in / demon hunter move back in / grapple back in. They did other things like bubble and stuff, but the extra flap, and it's no either. This last set of soaks, they're immune. Hunter and the other guy was exactly what Crossheads did. Okay. That's pretty much it. Now you're just racing in. Continuously get these out. They can go over old puddles, damage. Try and find new. Walk and put.
The earth puddles don't do damage.
No, they do not. They might have a dot ticking on them, but not enough.
I don't even think that. I think they're
Yeah.
fake.
They could just be fake as well.
So if you get one and then you try that and you die to it, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think that they're fake. You could definitely try that when we're progging it.
It enrages, it dies, and then we go into P3. P3 is, everyone says it's the hardest part. To me, it seems like the easiest portion of all 3. Stay in Frost for the remainder of the fight. This ad that spawns as Frost is completely irrelevant. It can be alive for the rest of the fight, because we're going to kill the fight before it matters. Damage on this is here for boss, or damage that you can't avoid, like Blade Fury.
No pad, say less.
Yeah, they pull the ad out. I think a little bit.
Well, for the mechanic, probably.
Oh
bring it
yeah, let's
back.
pull it out so we can't blade flare yet.
The reason why it's pulled out is just to give you more time to dodge. So this ad also does the I call it savant waves or boss. The ad does the same, and you just have to live this. Cannot, by all means, get hit by these. It is a one shot. And then there's we set up in terms of groups. I think no, the first one you just split through the raid. I'm pretty sure each group one. See if I'm right, and then the second one you just into the. Yep. One range group, one melee group.
You can't be in both because you'll get frozen.
Don't be in
It
both.
puts
And you
a
sacrifice
debuff.
for the guzzle.
It puts a debuff on you, so you can't soak multiple in a row. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So this fight, I mean, every phase in this the healer, a healer's fight. So it's supposedly a really great if you're crap. That's the whole fight, and then you add the 80%, but we have to kill it. Gets there. Our gear's higher than these guys, so hopefully we do. And you're just
Wait, 5 or 6 healing this?
5 heal it. I guess if you 6 heal. I think you can. Oh, it's Terros. I don't think I know.
I think Pop Tart Corn Dog did 1 week.
Anyway, that's the whole fight. So you kill it, you sacrifice the last one. So this fight that we've gone over here is 100% scripted and will happen the same thing at the same time every time. It can be killed like Mayfa said. Pulse.
Let's go for 20.
Yeah, if you're super prepped for it and you're ready and preemptively ready, damage coming. Well, overall fight, and we can not make up time, but continue making good time on boss.
Something about this boss rubs me the wrong way. It seems like the way people are doing it is like negating as much of the fight as possible. Like just like we don't even do the burn at the end. We don't even do the lightning phase. It's all to avoid parts of the fight. Like, is it really that hard?
Not like every rig pit is though.
I mean, this fight slaps. Like all their
It's not
healers
the
are
point
doing
of
about
any
100k
boss.
HPS. Minus the disc priest. We're all doing around 100k HPS, if not more. And so, yeah, the fight is. I mean, it's sketchy. Like in these earth phases at the end, you know, bound. That is insane. Amount of damage going out. So, not to mention damage is equally definitely survivability damage. So we're gonna be looking at all that. Hunters will not be starting the fight. I'm pretty. I'll be 21st manning and going into a lot of details. This video is in the Kurog channel, along with healer one from a healer POV with healing frames. Just watch the video a couple times, and at least in terms of thing, and then the fall over damage gets correct. Have any questions or anything they want? They have missed out. Take that. If you do have any questions, yeah.
How the hell do they get their orbs with the frost guy to look like that when they're spawning? 'Cause I swear in my game.
They don't look like this?
Maybe? Yeah, that's how mine look.
That's how
right
mine
when
look.
no, when they come out, that's how they look. But I mean, when they're forming underneath the boss initially.
Turn up your graphics.
Yeah, but I'm wondering what graphic that is. Or maybe it's just all the spell clutter.
It's just to
Good
me, I
enough
think it's
computers to have everything maxed out.
Does tank positioning affect how those orbs spawn? Did you say?
Yeah. Oh, not directional. No.
And you also notice, Jelly, here they channel it, and the boss moves after the channel, but the channel continues to go. Do keep that in mind.
It looks like, if that's consistent, it looks like it's always like the same set of, like it's always like 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock from the boss.
It wasn't on heroic, but that could
It
be different.
It alternated, like it moved.
Is something with the tank though over there?
Super consistent. Like,
But this
It
tank?
looks fine here,
Just
but when
don't
we
you
did, I know on
freeze?
heroic it alternated, like it would move.
Yeah, the first one was always different. So
Yeah.
I think he's just
so, but...
he's clearing, right? So the ad's cast, he cleared. He moves it out, clears, and then brings the ad
okay.
back in.
But it's possible they don't move because on Mythic you have 2 sets coming out instead of just 1. Like
yeah, I guess I was just wondering if there's a way to game it and make like a safe spot. But possibly not.
Anywho, that's pretty much it. So there's lots of the fight that's scary and going to be like, you guys are really going to make sure you're on to know when damage is coming. This is a damage prevention instead of, this is a proactive instead of reactive fight. But have really good pulls on this boss, I think, this week. Everything. It could possibly follow. You make really good time on the boss. Nothing is impossible. I expect us can easily get in what?
Double prog.
Least.
Double kill Kurog tomorrow and Dathia prog. Let's do it.
So is Dathia harder?
Dathia's fucking insane.
Yeah, so
They're
this
about
fight.
the same in terms of like the difficulty and time it takes people on them.
I think this fight is
It's
more
pretty much the same.
eye level
It's about
check.
40 pulls for both bosses, Dathia and Kurog.
So this is not crazy to go up to like 60. There's a big range based on how players are playing it, and if you show up, you can easily fucking like 10 pulls in a row on this boss on accident if you're not focused.
Yep.
Kurog gets easier with gear than Dathia does.
Yeah, exactly. Rogue does seem like the.
Buy your G fuel.
Adderall.
I got my G fuel, dude.
That's
there was a BOGO, man. Just like a couple days ago.
Can't pass up a good. But that's pretty much it. So I'll solidify the soaks Probably. I don't know what. I kind of want the rogues and melee to stay on the bot. Kind of leaning. Pause and.
Yep, I'll be back up for that.
Well, note that Death Knights have a greatly reduced cooldown anti-magic shell. You should make me and Bread soak a bunch of shit.
Well, I don't know if Bread can full soak a puddle,
damage
right?
uptime.
Yeah, and Bread's also damage. That's what I was trying to. So we'll at least get tanks to do one and straws to do.
Well,
Warlocks are tanky as fuck.
I can beacon somebody too.
hey,
I'm not gonna beacon Marge on this one. So.
Note that Bread only does damage in the first minute and a half.
Not on this boss.
He's Frost on the boss.
Oh.
Target.
AMS is my DPS cooldown.
I respect it.
But yeah, that's it, guys. So if you have questions between now and tomorrow, do come reach out. I'm more. Comments, concerns, you have questions about the week wars as well. Do make sure those have things in the spot. Make sure if you have things. I did fuck around.
Which ones do we have to turn on?
I would make sure you have Searing Carnage on because it tells you which way to move. I would make sure you have Dark Recital Countdown on. Searing Carnage bar I would have on because it tells you when the ticks are coming out. So the absolute zero icon, have it on or off, I think is relevant. Searing Carnage icon I also think is a bar will tell you if you're big icon user. Has to be. So what will pop up with these assignments here? I don't even know. They're loaded. We'll tell you. I think the absolute assignment will tell you which side of the ball, and I think I can. The ground shatter will show you three different options: front, left, and right. I don't know what they're going to be called on your screen, but these are kind of relevant. These are all taking it in P outside of the first bubble mission. Double row. That's I or else. Them out. The way Liquid did this is they actually stayed in the bubble and did like I can't even put mark. They did like a square diamond. Top one was right back. Kind of too tight to do that. Not. Yeah, blows and all that stuff. This is all off. I have the bars on. Yep.
I think most of the stuff is on by default except a few things.
Yeah, for the most part it's like that, but you can sort of feel it out, right? Like if I don't know. I really go to these big fucking like if you don't want this. But this will go for all the bosses, right? Like Keeper's next. It has equally many things. So figuring it.
As a single target pumper, all I care about is blasting the boss.
Hey Maphis.
Yeah.
Do you know if the glows in this one are better than the other glows before you linked last week?
I would trust this one more.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, we're not sure. We haven't tested it yet. So that's
I'll go ahead and just disable the other one then.
Razagath.
Because this one, if you mouse over glows, like for right now, so everybody can see it. If you mouse over glows, it tells you what glows for what and what the colors are.
Yeah.
So you don't have to actually go search and figure out if you want it or not.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna use theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, my healer frames are kind of fucked this tier. I don't show debuffs. I just rely on glows. Fucking horrible.
But yeah,
I mean it's
pretty much it. We'll go from there tomorrow, and then just on your own time, game before again 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. Pull up the video, watch it really quick. You can speed through the important parts that you remember. Like, oh, this is definitely what. Be proactive on. Comment. I'll post this in the channel as well for anyone at America. Not sure if I hope you have a good night. I don't know if Ash is still.
Yeah, heroic.
I would like to. I'd like to.
DM me when you get to Grim Totem because it's like a 20 item level thing for me. So let me know. I'll try to be there. I might not be able to though.
Okie dokie.